Is dry hair your constant worry? Have you tried all sorts of remedies and still not able to rescue your hair from that really dry and stiff kind of feeling? Hi, I'm Reneé Melek and today we're going to discuss the topic dry hair. So, why do we get dry hair? Before looking at what you could do, let's look at why does it happen. First of all, we all live in very, I would say, harsh environment. Now, what do I mean by that? Mainly, we all at some point or the other are in constant AC environment. Either we sleep in the night with our air conditioners on, we work in offices which has a complete air conditioning system. So, we are constantly in an AC environment. And how does that dry our hair? Basically, AC gives you very dry air, sucks out all the moisture from the air and throws it out. So you are constantly fed with a cold and dry air, but that has an effect on your hair and your skin. So what it does, it is constantly drying out your hair. So the first day when you wash your hair, it's nice, but as you progress to the third or fourth day, your hair is completely dried out. So what could you do to stop this? Now, if you are constantly sleeping in an AC environment, you could just tie a silk scarf or have a silk bonnet in which you put all your hair in. So you're protecting, like a protecting layer from the outside environment, from the AC air, so the hair doesn't get fully dried out. What you could do also, after 2 days of your hair wash, in the third day, you could just do a water rinse, so that you put back the moisture that is derived from water into your hair. Now, many people try to oil their hair because they want to nourish it, make it soft. But let me tell you, oils don't have moisture in them. They are good as a lubricant. They are good to kind of, it gives you a slippery feel to your hair. That's nice, it's good. Hair also needs oils, but many times we end up overloading our hair with oils. What do I mean by that? It means that you are actually causing build-up. You are giving the hair more than what it can take. So instead of getting nourished, it starts to feel very dry. And what you need to do is either you use a oil that's suitable for your hair, and most of the times people use coconut oil, but I'm not a big fan of coconut oil because it is 4 on the comedogenic scale, and that's pretty high. It's if you're going to keep the oil in for very long on your hair, you're going to create a lot of build-up and clogging of the oil onto your hair. So I would suggest lighter oils like hemp seed oil, jojoba oil, almond oil and olive oil. These are, even castor oil actually is very low on the comedogenic scale, though it is very thick. But my suggestion is to, if at all you do oiling, do not keep it for a day or 2 days. Do it before your hair wash for an hour. Your hair will absorb how much it wants. The rest that you see on top is actually not needed. So don't overload your hair, because of which also you might be facing a lot of dryness. Then what you could do, because you have done a water rinse, not a shampoo, but just a water rinse, you have replenished moisture into your hair, and you're good to go for another 2 days without the hair feeling too coarse and dry. Now let's come to our hair abuse that we do with our electric gadgets. Everybody now wants to have very sleek looking hair, and everybody wants to feel very groomed before they go for their office or meet with their friends. And you have good collection of electronic hair gadgets. Now you could be overusing them, abusing your hair with the gadgets. Make sure you have the right kind of gadgets, good professional companies that first take care of your hair. The platings are of good quality, they are not cheap. Usually the good quality ones are slightly expensive, but it's worth the investment because it won't dry your hair. And if you're constantly using say a iron or tongs, you are giving direct heat to your hair. Now you could do it in a much better way. First of all, heat protecting serums are good, but also what I would suggest is when you visit your hairstylist, ask them for which are the good professional brands, because salons use good brands of tools so that they don't end up burning the client's hair. So they can help you choose the right gadget. Also, when you are with the stylist, ask them how should I use the iron, how should I use my heating gadget, so that you get some nice tips from them to save your hair. Another thing is, we end up being very slow on our own hair. A hairstylist is very quick, so when he uses the tool on a very high heat, his hand movement is quick, so your hair doesn't get burned. But we are pretty slow with our hair. We are like trying to adjust, look in the mirror and see where I can point. By the time you finish, the hair has had the heat on it for much longer period. So I would suggest that you do a little bit of a trial with your hairstylist. When you visit your hairstylist, ask your stylist to help you, guide you, and do 1 or 2 sections with the stylist under the guidance, so that he can guide you if you're doing it the right way or the wrong way. Also, when you try it out, first practice with the gadget switched off, so that you don't have any heat, excess heat actually coming onto your hair. Once your hair has got the movement of moving in the right direction, you're quicker, then use your gadget on a medium heat. Usually on a hair iron or a tong, a 190-degree should be just right. And if your hair is very thick, very coarse, and you need higher heat, you could go just slightly higher. Then we come to product buildup. Many times people use so many products that there's a constant buildup. Sometimes it's the cheap shampoo conditioners which are loaded with silicones. Now there could be the nice silicones in a product, and some silicones are very clingy, very heavy and sticky in nature. Those are very difficult to wash off. So if you see yourself constantly, you're washing your hair, it's getting greasy and you have to keep washing it, it means you need to change your shampoo conditioner, because that's doing a buildup. Now that buildup could be drying your hair. Using too much of serum. Remember, hair serums also have silicones in them. Now don't get me wrong, some silicones are nice. They are, if it's used in moderation, and they are the lighter ones, they really help retain moisture in your hair. But you need to be careful of the products that you are using, because you could be using some products that don't have good quality silicones and products in them, and initially it feels all very nice and smooth, but over the period of time it started to make your hair feel dull, sticky and lifeless. That means your product is giving you a lot of buildup, a lot of silicone buildup, and you need to do a cleansing. So it's good sometimes to go to the salon for a nice hair wash. They will understand if there is too much product buildup. They will use a cleansing shampoo so that it will clean out the buildup onto the hair and give you a nice rub. Also, some people tend to not go right to the scalp and wash their hair and rinse out properly. If you're not rinsing out your conditioner properly, you are actually causing a lot of buildup, which is creating more dryness. Now we come to the chemical services. We all love our colors, our keratins and various services we go to the salon for. But be careful, you need everything in a balance. You can't go overboard, because if you do way too much of highlights and balayage, which are very blonde and light shades, it is going to dry out your hair, because that needs higher peroxide. The moment you go very light, you're pushing your hair beyond its capacity. So there is a nicer way of doing color. You don't need to color all the hair at once. Many times I tell my clients that do highlights, do balayage, but leave a lot of your natural virgin hair in between, so that it compensates for the dryness I cause with the color. Also, your stylist should have better color skills, where they, bleaching the hair should not be always the answer. There are milder and more nicer ways of coloring, which if the stylist understands, has good color knowledge and experience, they can guide you to having colored hair, highlighted hair with minimal damage. And also remember, once you color your hair, you change the pH of your hair. Then it becomes all the more very important to do conditioning. Some people like to only shampoo their hair and not condition their hair. They don't use conditioner, thinking that will cause more hair fall. That's not true. Actually, shampoo is a negative charge and conditioner is your positive charge. Here, shampoo is the villain. Your hair doesn't like it. It's a stripper. It removes all your dirt as well as the oils and even the natural oils that your hair loves. So you need a conditioner that puts back or conditions your hair, puts back moisture, puts back the oils it needs. And the positive charge is what hair likes. The cuticles are no more raised, they are settled, the hair feels smooth, and there are moisture retaining ingredients in your conditioner. So conditioning your hair is very important, and once a month visit to the salon for a deep conditioning treatment, after especially doing any chemical services like color, should be a part of your routine. That will save your hair from a lot of damage. Now finally we come to some damage caused by our environment. Like if you are a lot in the sun, it is going to dry out your hair, it is going to lighten your color. If you are on the seaside, you like to swim a lot, you've gone for a beach holiday, sea water is a high pH. It is going to open your cuticles and it is going to dry out your hair a lot. If you are a constant swimmer, the chlorine in the water is going to dry out your hair. So what would you do? Keeping a good conditioning routine is the key. Having good premium products, which is light but equally effective in conditioning. A good once a month or twice a month visit to the salon for a hair spa, a deep conditioning treatment, because when the salon people do it, they go section by section into every layer of your hair, and that gives a good deep conditioning effect onto the hair. So it helps the hair not get too dry, but before it reaches the extreme dry level, you control it, because you are already doing a lot of maybe heat abuse or chemical abuse. So you will have to compensate it by giving it what it likes. It likes more of conditioning. And as I said, don't do overloads of oiling, and don't overload your hair with a lot of silicone rich cheap products. This will take you a long way in your combat with dry hair. Hope you liked the video today, and see you in the next video.